Tucker Carlson has been fired from Fox News, but so has Don Lemon from CNN. Now, this has been a huge story. I mean, Tucker Carlson is one of probably the biggest personalities on Fox News and is honestly probably carrying the boat at this point. And Don Lemon is a CNN host who was also fired. 17-year veteran of CNN fired today. Now, there may be something deeper behind the scenes as I was doing research that's a little bit scarier, a little bit darker, and a little bit more concerning as to why these two were fired. Now, Tucker Carlson, I went to Twitter, and as I kept looking, it got progressively darker and darker, but we'll start with something light. Now, this is more from an economical point of view, how Tucker Carlson's going to do. Someone says, a major irony is that Tucker Carlson's separation from Fox may be the best thing that could happen to him in terms of his influence and impact. The sector of media growing most explosively are independent platforms. Joe Rogan is vastly more influential than every MSNBC and CNN host. Interesting. So there's that side of it, right? And that made me think, well, why would they get rid of Tucker Carlson if he's essentially their Joe Rogan, right? He's bringing all the butter home. Why would they get rid of him? Well, just do a little more scrolling. And then there's this meme of Tucker Carlson escorting Fox News in a coffin, pretty much saying that Fox News is nothing without Tucker Carlson, which might be true. Now, Tucker Carlson got fired for conspiracy theories. Essentially, the conspiracy theories that he was promoting cost Fox News about $700 million. They had to do a settlement for this, and it was kind of brutal for Fox. And so I think they ended up firing him. But again, there's something deeper. Now, why did Don Lemon get fired? Well, Don Lemon had this moment.
Lemon caused a firestorm when he took on presidential hopeful Nikki Haley because she questioned whether Joe Biden is too old to be president.
This whole talk about age makes me uncomfortable. I think it's the wrong road to go down. She says people, politicians or something are not in their prime. Nikki Haley isn't in her prime.
He apologized, but the damage was done.
Well, and as Don Lemon told us on CNN, women actually can't run for president because he said we're past our prime once we get to our 40s. But since you have to be 35 to run, it's like this really tight window between 35 and 40.
So in that moment, Don Lemon was like, she's past her prime to run. And the co-hosts are like, what do you mean she's past her prime? He's like, I don't know, Google it. Complete fumbling. And then behind the scenes, there ended up being some stuff that came out that was not too good in his favor. And my buddy Ruslan had a really good take on this, which is in today's culture, you can't be someone behind the scenes and then show face on legacy media as somebody else that's really nice and sweet. It's just not possible. Now, again, like I said, let's continue down this rabbit trail. There was this clip of Tucker Carlson just moments before he was let go.
You wonder just how filthy and dishonest our news media are. You'll be in the shower and you'll think they're bad, but how bad are they? Well, here's one measure of their badness. You can try this at home. Ask yourself, is any news organization you know of so corrupt that it's willing to hurt you on behalf of its biggest advertisers? Anyone who do that is obviously Pablo Escobar level corrupt and should not be trusted. You wonder.
So that was Tucker Carlson's words moments before he was axed. And the question here is, do you believe Tucker Carlson knew that this was coming when he stated these facts? Now, it brings me full circle to the question. Why would they get rid of their Joe Rogan, the person that's carrying the show? Well, this is interesting. BlackRock increased its ownership of Fox Corporation to over 15% in February. Now, do you see why Fox parted ways with Tucker only 2 months later? Always follow the money. Now, BlackRock is the investment firm that owns the world. Quite literally, they own every single thing ever. Now let's just see what they own. It's not a bank. BlackRock is one of the top shareholders in all U.S. banks, including JP Morgan, Chase, Citigroup, Bank of America, Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley, Wells Fargo. In terms of most profitable and recognizable corporations, BlackRock is top shareholder of Walmart, General Electric, General Motors, Ford, AT&T, Verizon, Google, Apple, ExxonMobil, and Chevron. BlackRock's other large holdings include Microsoft, Johnson & Johnson, Amazon, Facebook, Berkshire Hathaway, Gilead Sciences, Pfizer, Procter & Gamble, Merck, Intel, Coca-Cola, Walt Disney, Home Depot, Philip Morris, Visa, McDonald's, IBM, Pepsi-Cola, Comcast, MasterCard, Starbucks. At a mere 27 years of age, BlackRock manages $4.5 trillion in assets, making it the single largest investor on earth. It manages more wealth than Japan and Germany have in GDP. In fact, only China and United States have a larger GDP, and BlackRock has assets under management. Yet when one includes assets that the company not only manages but advises upon, the number soars to around 15 trillion, roughly equal to the US GDP. Let's watch this little video on let's check out this little video on BlackRock. This is horrifying.
There's a good chance you've never heard of BlackRock. Founded in only 1988, in less than 30 years, this American financial firm would grow to become the company that owns the world, managing assets worth $6.3 trillion. These are assets that belong to their clients, mainly the pension funds of ordinary people, teachers, police officers, nurses, and many more. And that's just the beginning. BlackRock has also developed a software platform called Aladdin to perform risk analysis for its clients. It receives sensitive data from banks, insurance companies, and other important institutions. Through Aladdin, BlackRock has insights about the management of financial assets worth another $20 trillion. BlackRock also has shares and voting rights in many of the biggest European companies, in sectors such as energy, oil and gas, transportation, food, and of course, finance. The company holds public debt in the form of bonds and has real estate interests. And still, there's more. Our Rock, you see, wears many hats. Aside from being an investor, it is also an auditor and an advisor. Governments and central banks invite a BlackRock subsidiary called BlackRock Solutions to audit them and to provide advice about the management and rescue of banks. Yet at the same time, BlackRock is often a major shareholder in these same banks. In other words, the company often sits on both sides of the table. BlackRock Solutions gets privileged access to highly sensitive information that could be valuable to BlackRock itself. Does this constitute a conflict of interest? No, says BlackRock, which claims that the company has established Chinese walls between its different subsidiaries. In January 2018, BlackRock's founder and chairman, Larry Fink, sent a letter to all of the CEOs of the companies BlackRock is invested in, asking them to do more than deliver financial performance and make a positive contribution to society.
Did you check that last part? That last part, it says, not only make profitable investments, but measure it based off its contribution to society. Now, there's a rumor going around that BlackRock is actually incentivizing certain companies to participate in a certain woke agenda, right? Participate in that, and the more they do, the more money they get. Now, BlackRock owns part of Fox News. BlackRock owns pretty much everything. And it would make sense for Fox News to get rid of their Joe Rogan, right? Their star, the person carrying the whole show, if there was a level of financial security behind it. There's someone paying them even more money than Tucker Carlson is bringing in. Now, Don Lemon was just kind of being a goofball. Don Lemon didn't really, protect the bag. He was trying to mess around off camera and got caught up and got kind of exposed a little bit for who he really is. But the Tucker Carlson thing is interesting. Always follow the money. Now, I think as a Gen Zer, like, who's watching these guys? Who's watching these guys? You can sit here and be mad at BlackRock. You can sit here and be mad at Fox News, boycott CNN. We've been boycotting Fox News and CNN. Let's just not be watching that. What? YouTube is enough. There's enough like balanced perspectives, real people talking, that YouTube is like good enough for me, you know? And if it doesn't make it to YouTube, I say this, I don't watch the news. I don't check the news. If it's big enough, I'll hear about it. And that is 100% true. 100% of the time. Now, I'm not concerned about these guys. I actually like that there's personalities like Tucker Carlson or Don Lemon that might have the opportunity to go independent and start their own thing. I think the more independence we get from these major corporations and globalist investors, that the better, more balanced the economy and just the perspectives will be. They won't be backed. They won't, you won't get a hot take followed up by a Pfizer ad, right? You'll just get the thing you want, right? And I think that's important. So I'm not stressing about this. I think it's interesting though, and it's good to always follow the money. If you guys enjoyed this video, give it a like, comment down below. I want to know what you think, and subscribe so you never miss a thing.